Hi everyone, I'm doing something different today, just my voice today, I'm too lazy. Anyway, I'll be discussing the films I watched November of 2020. Not a ton of films, but I watched some films. I'm gonna stop talking and start reviewing, so let's go. I wished I watched this film a lot earlier. This was a really good horror flick. There were some boring scenes and scenes that felt necessary, but some jump scares did get me, and I thought it was a really good story and a really good message about immigrants. Really good. I'm giving this film an 8 out of 10. You can tell that some guys wrote this film because the writing was not good and the camera angles were so questionable that I was wondering if this film was actually sexist. And the fighting scenes are not that great. And what's up with the slow motion? Are you trying to be like the Matrix? The only redeeming qualities of the film is Alec Baldwin's and Marlon Ackerman's performances. Just watch another fighting film like Fighting for My Family and just skip it because this film, it's not good. As a Latino named Danny that likes rap music, this guy is a piece of garbage. I'm not mentioning his name because he's a terrible person. The documentary was actually better than I expected. It was a lot more negative than I expected. They do mention the 13-year-old incident, which is disgusting. Although this was a well-made documentary, I don't recommend it. We should stop giving attention to this guy. He's a douchebag. If I hear news about this guy or music about this guy, this is gonna be my reaction. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. This documentary is fine. I already knew a lot of information about Greta, so this was, useless. But if you don't know anything about Greta, check it out. If you know a lot about her, don't check it out. So yeah. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. This Shawn Mendes documentary was good. The controversies were amazing, fantastic. However, it was inconsistent. When I mean inconsistent, I mean that I don't know what this film is about. Does it focus on Shawn's personal life? Does it focus on his world tour? Does it focus on his homecoming back to Toronto? That's what I mean when it was inconsistent. I don't know what this film was about. Honestly, I like the Casey Neistat documentary better than this one, so check out the Casey Neistat documentary on Shawn Mendes on YouTube. I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. Whoa, 3 7s in a row. Jackpot. This short film is fantastic. It's on Netflix. I check it out and I don't regret it. The film could be triggering and shocking, but the purpose of this film is to be shocking and it's effective. I recommend it. It's already a contender for best short film at the Oscars. Check it out. I'm giving this film a 10 out of 10. After 2 awful Hulu films back in August and October, I'm happy that this film is great. Sarah Paulson plays an incredible Karen. She was scary and she was awesome. Kyria Allen, who was a paraplegic in real life, was fantastic in this film. And then it's a breath of air to see a paraplegic actress star in a film. This is probably the best thriller of 2020. I recommend it. Go check it out. I'm giving this film an 8.5 out of 10. I don't think this is the worst film of the year. I could easily name 10 films that is much worse than this film. But this film isn't great. The acting wasn't convincible. Amy Adams was miscast. However, Glenn Close was fantastic. The score was very underappreciated. I think this is probably the most underrated score of the year. And the camera shots were pretty decent. It did its job. But I don't recommend it. I'm giving this film a 5 out of 10. Dan Levy stole the show. He was funny. I couldn't stop laughing every time he appeared on screen. But this film I thought was cute. It was funny. It did give me the holiday spirit. There were some unnecessary scenes that felt cheesy. But other than that, I thought it was a well-made comedy. And Hulu, these type of films. I want these type of films. I don't want, another Book of Blood or The Binge. Just these type of films. Good films. I'm asking you, make good films. I'm giving this film a 7.5 out of 10. I could see why Disney didn't promote this film that much. This film was okay. The cinematography is gorgeous, but I couldn't appreciate it because there was a cut every 2 seconds. And on average, it was around 30 cuts per minute, and it was way too overcut. The performances were pretty good, but Kate Winslet narrating as a horse is really questionable, and there's some questionable decisions throughout the film. Then I realized that the director was also the editor and writer of this film, so that made a lot of sense. Instead of this film, just watch The Black Stallion from like 1978. That film is fantastic. Or just watch the 1994 Black Beauty. Haven't watched this film, but I heard it's way better than this film. So yeah, skip this film. I'm giving this film a 5 out of 10. Although I watched this film yesterday on December 9th of 2020 because I didn't want to go to theaters. This film came out in theaters November 2020, so I included it on this list. This is probably Vince Vaughn's best performance in a while. This film was hysterical, it was funny. Yes, it might be cliche, there's some parts where I sort of cringed, but other than that, I think this was a great horror comedy film, and I recommend it, even though it's not the best film of the year. Just check it out. I'm giving this film a 7.5 out of 10. There's a ton of films coming out December 2020, but despite that, I'll try to release a December 2020 video before December 31st. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Sorry I released it almost mid-December, but I've been very busy. But there's going to be a ton of films December 2020, so yeah, have a good day and bye everyone.